Hello and welcome from Alexanderplatz, Berlin. Behind me, you can see the most famous landmark of Berlin, which is the TV tower of Fujifilm. If you see this, you know you are in Berlin, right? So in this video, I'll do some POV photography in this area. I'll walk from Alexanderplatz to Nikolai Viertel, and also Nikolai Viertel is one of the most beautiful places of Berlin. I'll tell you more about it as I go. I will show you the best photos that you can take in this area, Alexanderplatz, from a photographer's point of view. You see, this place is so famous, everybody almost takes the same photos. So stick till the end and watch this video till the end, right? Also, if you really enjoy this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I would really appreciate that. So yeah, just let's go and have fun. So we'll start today from the S-Bahn of Alexanderplatz, which is basically the train station. I usually exit from the other side, opposite to the Fujifilm or TV tower, because this side has much more activity. It has a lot of more people, and there is particularly one shot I really like to take. Let me show you. So I'll just turn around, and yes. So fortunately, we have two trams already. So I'm just looking for people who are crossing over, and I'll try to place the subject in the center of these trams. Maybe this will do. Actually, a lot of people are crossing over, so we will get some really nice shots, and I will show you what I mean. So these trams act as leading lines, and I'm just trying to center somebody in mid. We have some really nice subjects coming through. By the way, I hope you are able to see the camera, because today the mount is a bit different. The older mount broke, so I had to order a new one. Anyways, yes, there is another very popular photo of Alexanderplatz that I want to show you, and it's actually quite popular among photographers, but general public doesn't know about it. So you see this sign, Alexanderplatz. So I have the Alex in the frame. I also have the TV tower in the frame, and I'm waiting for a train to pass by. And I'm hoping to catch the train as it passes through this sign. This is a very popular shot on Instagram, especially amongst Berlin photographers, and you will see why. It's also very, very cool. Let me show you the TV tower also. So yeah, it's quite an imposing structure. It's probably the most important landmark of Berlin. If you see this, you know you are in Berlin, as I said before. It really does. Maybe I can shoot from inside the tram. I don't have to go close, I can zoom in. I see an interesting thing happening there. Maybe. That's why carrying a zoom lens is so handy. I mean, I would always recommend to carry a zoom lens if you can, because street photography is so unpredictable. You never know what you can come across. So a zoom lens always gives you better opportunities to shoot your surroundings. I'm walking towards this structure on the right hand side. I'll show you, it's very exciting. Let me also show you how it looks from the back side, because this view is priceless, especially when the train passes by. Anyways, I'm going to show you one of the most popular attractions in Alexanderplatz. Basically, tourists from all around the globe, they always come to see this. This is the world clock, and it basically tells you the current time in 148 cities around the globe. Right? It's so cool. And you can see tourists coming from all around the world. They just stand here and try to see what the current time is in their own cities of origin, or where they come from. I used to do this a lot when I first came to Berlin. I used to see the current time in New Delhi. It was always very cool. It has also become a hub for musicians, so you would see very interesting people playing here, and normally you would see a lot of people gathered here just trying to listen to the music. The atmosphere is quite lively. Let me go down, because I use this perspective a lot while I'm here. I'm trying to capture the bigness of this TV tower. I'm trying to show the real scale of the TV tower. So I have it in the background. I want someone to cross over. I'm waiting for subjects. Maybe this is good. Yes. That's an interesting subject. Yeah, I use this perspective a lot when I want to show things bigger in my photos. I want to capture the real size or scale of something. I usually just go down and shoot from ground up. That can be an interesting subject. I love people who take photos with their mobile phones. I just put the main subject in the background and have them in the foreground and focus on them. This becomes interesting. Right. Let's walk more. Where do we go now? Should I walk towards Bahnhof because that will also be cool? But maybe we can go the other way. We can go back and see what's out there. I hate this construction. You know, this construction has been going on for a long time now. Everything is just so much under construction. All this construction just reminds me how this city keeps on changing. I mean, I came here in 2019 and I can't believe how much this city has changed. And if you talk to somebody who has been born and raised in Berlin, who is a true Berliner, they would tell you how much the city has changed, and it keeps on changing every day. And this construction is sort of a reminder. I mean, I'm all for changes, but somehow I feel like it's a part of gentrification, and somehow this compromises the vibe and culture of the city like Berlin. But then it's Berlin, it keeps moving on. This is the view I was telling you about. Let's try to take more photos of this view. Oh, I see something interesting happening here. So you remember I just told you how tourists would stand here all day and try to see the times in their respective cities or where they come from? Well, this is what they are doing right now. So this can be an interesting shot. Maybe I can have the clock in the background. Let's see. Yeah. Let's get on to the view now. Today is a very warm day. You can see a lot of sunshine. But what do you get with harsh sunlight? You get silhouettes and sharp outlines of things. So this is what I get from this train. Nice colors. Let's walk towards the Bahnhof or the train station now. Actually, looking at all these tram lines, maybe we can use them as leading lines for something. I can use this and get this all view in the background, but I don't feel good about the lens I'm using right now. Maybe we can try something different. So maybe let me try using these curved tram lines as leading lines here and have the tram in the background, and I'll just wait for someone to cross over. That can be something interesting. Let's try it. So should I go down? Let's go down. Because I want to place the tram, I'm using the rule of thirds. I want to have the tram on the upper horizontal line. I think I talked about this in my last video. That's the horizon. The upper horizontal line is a horizon line. So if you want to use rule of thirds, it's a good idea to place the subject on the upper horizontal line if you're using again rule of thirds. Yeah, let me try to place someone in the middle of these two trams. Again, I'm trying to place someone on the upper horizontal line. Let's see. there is another interesting shot I usually take. So I try to take photos of people entering or exiting the tram. It basically resonates with traveling and it gives a very personal touch. Let's see if we get something interesting here. It's very, very hot today. Did I already say this? Yes, it's very hot. This week has been literally a heat wave week. So, yeah. Now I am going to the other side where the TV tower actually is. Let's see. So this area you can basically go two ways. Either you can go left and pass by the TK Maxx and all of these shops. It's a big promenade, but I think I will go right here because I also want to capture the mood of the people. So on the right hand side you can see a lot of tourists just hanging out, sitting, watching something on the mobile phone, so just kids playing here. So this has a more personal touch to it. Just cross over. Let's try to do something very random. Maybe on my right hand side. No, my zoom lens is not that good. So maybe I want to take a shot of the TV tower. But obviously I can't get the whole thing. Usually the revolving, sphere at the top is a thing of interest in these photos. Maybe I can use these fancy lampposts with the TV tower and maybe create like a minimalistic abstract shot. Let me see. I mean, you should always do something stupid or maybe random. Why not? Who cares? Yeah, let me do this. So I'm trying to get a minimalistic kind of shot of the TV tower and these fancy lampposts together somehow. Photos like these are quite popular in architecture photography. A lot of people do this. Yeah. This can be interesting. So on the left hand side there's a cafe restaurant. A lot of people just keep sitting here for a long time, chilling. This can be interesting. The art of doing nothing. Dolce far niente, as they say in Italian. No, I don't speak Italian, I just know this phrase. I can see some. This is interesting. A man. So if you can see on the left hand side, this man will probably start blowing bubbles, and the kids are already up for it. They are ready to play with it. This is very cool. Maybe I can get some shots of this. It's so funny how children can find happiness in random objects like bubbles, whereas the whole world is trying to find happiness in fancy lifestyles, fancy cars, and try to show how happy they are on social media. And everything has become, dubious. Maybe we can learn a thing or two from children, right? I mean, I look at my daughter who is very small and she's very happy when she plays with just random objects. You know, give them a bottle filled with spaghetti and they can play with it all day. You don't have to even buy fancy toys to children. I mean, all parents do, obviously, but slowly you discover that children don't need fancy toys. They literally find happiness in random things. That's a nice view also. Maybe I can use those bikes on the right and create a different kind of composition. Let's try it. So maybe I can focus on handlebar or a bicycle bell and have this view in the background. Probably also place people as subjects. This is fine. Let's go a bit closer. Yeah, maybe this will do. Yeah, I can focus on the handlebar. The old style building that you see on the left, far away, it's called Rotus Rathaus or Red Town Hall. Actually, we have two options now. Either I can walk straight towards Rotus Rathaus, which is also a nice area, very open area, or I can turn right here towards TV Tower of Unzentrum. It's also a very nice area, very lively. It has a lot of water fountains and a lot of people hang out there. Let's do this. Let's take a photo of this Rotus Rathaus and then we go right. How about that? So I'm just waiting for somebody to pass by. I will focus on the person and have the building in the background. Yeah, I love the red shirt. Now let's go right. So straight on we will end up at Marienkirche or St. Mary's Church, which is one of the oldest churches in Berlin. Not the oldest, one of the oldest. Tell me in the comments below which is the oldest church in Berlin if you know. This place is also very lively. You have restaurants and bars on the right and a nice small park in the left on the left, and then you have a lot of water fountains and a viewing platform straight on. So you can see already a lot of people just hang out when the weather is nice. Lots of them are tourists, but also a lot of people who live in this area come here. Now can you see this church? So this is the Marienkirche St. Mary's Church I was telling you about before. I see a photo opportunity here. So this is a very popular ice cream parlor, and let's take a photo here. I like how the small girl is just looking into the glass. She's probably trying to decide what flavor she wants. The innocence. Right, so this is a viewing platform, and straight on you will be able to see the church again. This is interesting. I like the storytelling here. Now, there's a lot of mystery attached to this church because nobody actually knows when it was built really. So the reason it is one of the oldest but not the oldest is because it was definitely mentioned in German chronicles in around 1292 AD. But while researching for this video, I found that some really unfortunate events happened here in 1243 AD at this church, right? So it was definitely constructed before 1243 AD, which makes it one of the oldest churches in Berlin, but again, not the oldest one. The oldest, we will also see the oldest church in Berlin, but if you have any guesses, you can write it in the comments below. I just want to focus on the subject and have the church in the background. You can also use this perspective if you are using a very tight focal length, or if you don't have a lot of wide angle, you need space, you can do this. This allows you to capture the real scale and size of the subject. Maybe this shot is interesting. Yeah. As you can see all around, there are a lot of tourists or families hanging out here, chilling. All this makes me feel good. The news right now is full of horrible things, so when you see people hanging out, having a good time, gives you hope. It's just that everybody wants to fight and have wars. That's a new trend. Maybe I can use this line and wait for someone to cross over and have that really nice building in the background. I think I can capture this pair of mother and son. Let's see. Street photography is all about waiting. If you don't have patience, it's difficult for you to do street photography. It's also a double-edged sword, because if you wait at a certain place for a long time, if you linger there, people will notice you. They would know that you are waiting for them to pass by and all that, and a lot of times people would just go behind your back or try to avoid. It happens a lot. This is the Neptune Brunnen or Neptune fountain. So you can see the Greek god Neptune at the top, and he is surrounded by 4 women. Each woman here represents a river. I can see something happening here, so maybe I can have the statue and the man in one frame, like she's trying to tell him something. Yeah. Let's try another shot. Maybe I can have the same statue in the foreground and have the building Rotis Rathaus in the background. Let me try that. I can also see a lot of opportunities here, like the man sitting here on the right. First, let's take this photo. Yeah. I'm just trying to have a really very simple composition, to be honest. Anybody can shoot this. Let's try to get a bit closer to the man. So again, it's like he's talking to the statue, like they are having a conversation, kind of. Yeah. Let's try another composition. You see what I mean? This is a very popular shot with the god, Neptune god in the foreground and the building Rotis Rathaus in the background. I want to get the whole trident, complete trident in the shot, because it basically signifies the power of the god. Rotis Rathaus that I was telling you about so many times. It's a nice looking building, very beautiful. You have to really see it in person to appreciate it. But for me, it really stands out for its Christmas market. It has one of the best Christmas markets in winter, and you know, the place really comes to life during Christmas. Not many people know this, but if you visit Berlin in Christmas and see all the Christmas markets, that would be really something. You can always come to Berlin in good weather, but the city really comes to life during winter, especially when it's snowing around Christmas. Why am I going left? Maybe I can take a photo here. Problem is, I have a 50 mm lens right now, so the focal length is very tight. Let's walk towards Nikolai Theatre now. Yeah, I'll try a photo here sometime later. So this open space on the right, this is where the Christmas market is held every winter, and it's one of the best Christmas markets in Berlin, and it's also free. So although the things you get in Christmas markets have become more expensive year after year, but still it's a very nice place to be during winter. Let me try to get a shot here. Jurassic Park car. That's a nice touch. Wait, let me go down a bit. I have an idea. Yeah. So I want to have someone pass by on the left, maybe someone on a bike, and focus on them. Right. I have a high shutter speed, so I can freeze them in motion. That's not a problem. Let me see. Waiting. It's all about waiting. Waiting is the name of the game. Right. This is Nikolai Viertel. I mean, this is the start of the Nikolai Viertel. That's an interesting thing. So maybe I can take a photo of this girl just looking into the shop, looking inside it. And that bag with heart is also very interesting. You can't buy love, apparently. Just some random shops and restaurants, but this is the real deal. Nikolai Viertel was damaged a lot during the war, but they restored it. It has been gentrified after that, but still a large part of this place looks the same as it was before war. You can see all these, small corners and cobblestones, old style buildings and churches. Imagine this place in 1200 AD or whenever it was. Imagine this place without fancy restaurants and shops and just, cobblestone streets. I wonder how it would have been before. You can see already how beautiful it is. So much greenery. And these cobblestone streets really take you back in the time. Yeah, this is how it looks from the left. I'm just trying to show you what I can as much as possible because the battery is running out in the camera. Maybe I can focus on these people far away. But I would really like to have a zoom lens here, like a telephoto lens here. That's off. Okay. Can I take this shot? No. This is interesting. Let me focus on these stuffed toys in the foreground and the girl in the background. I try to use all elements available in a situation to basically try to tell some kind of storytelling. Do you want to see how expensive it is in Nikolai Viertel? Let me show you. So this is a nice bistro. I actually had a coffee when my in-laws were here a couple of years back. The food was fine. Let me show you the rates. Maybe you can get an idea how expensive it is or cheap it is. But I'm assure you it would be expensive. Let me show you the menu on camera. So on the right hand side, the wine is 750 euros a glass. I think it's a glass because it was 200 ml, so it should be a glass. A glass of wine for 7 euros 50. That's expensive, but it would be expensive here. This is one of the most touristy places in Berlin, and definitely you would be paying a premium to just wine and dine here. But this is not the place where people actually wine and dine. I will show you the real deal. So behind me is the Nikolai Kirche or the Saint Nicholas Church, and this church is actually the oldest church in Berlin. So this is what we were talking about before, and you can already imagine how old this place is, the Nikolai Viertel, because this is the oldest church. I'm waiting for somebody to pass by. I will not bore you with the history of this church. I think I will do a separate video on this place again, so that I can show you the whole place nicely and take some photos. This place is full of history. There are facts about Nikolai Viertel that I can't even, start telling you. Some of them I don't even know. But you also have these really nice Christmas shops on both sides, especially on my right. Let me show you. This is interesting. This is a nice example for framing. So I can use one of these arches or one of these windows to do some, framing shots or leading line shots. Let me show you. So let's go on the right here. I want to get a bit far from the couple, and now I'll just try to use these windows as leading lines and focus on the couple. Imagine if I had a telephoto lens. Now I can use these arches as framing. I can get some nice silhouettes of the couple walking away. Let's try another photo of the church with this view. Yeah. You see people sitting on the right. This is where people actually wine and dine in Nikolai Theatre. This area is full of restaurants, and all restaurants are almost always full. Let me show you how one of them looks like. This is actually one of the most popular restaurants here in Nikolai Theatre. It also serves German food or German cuisine. I'm not a big fan of German cuisine, but there are a couple of things I like. You see how beautiful it is? Full of people when the weather is nice. Why would it not be? I'm trying to use these lights. Let's walk towards the statue again. I want to have that statue. I think it's in the straight line with the church, so I want to have this statue in the foreground and have the church in the background. There's one more shot I would like to take. A couple of years ago, I took a shot of a bike with the Berlin Cathedral that you see in the far background, and I want to replicate that shot. So let me just walk a bit straight. The camera is really going to die.
You can see the reviews in my profile for Oscar.
So yeah, I'll just go down a bit and focus on the bike in the foreground and have the Berlin Cathedral in the background. Yeah. Right, so this is it. Thanks for staying with me till the end. And let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, if there is any other place in Berlin you would like to see. And I hope you stay safe. Bye from Berlin and bye from me. See you in the next one. Bye.